Hello, everybody. I just wanted to make a video. Excuse me, I'm a little hoarse. Um, I just watched some videos made by Mike and Kim talking about the 1975 debacle, and I've talked about it before, but it just made me remember a few things that I just thought was kind of funny. Just kind of made the whole situation kind of stupid. I didn't realize I didn't know anything about it for a long time because I was little when all that took place. I was only about 4 years old, and what was so funny was that my father and my mother were the only ones in a large group that didn't take stock into it. And what was interesting was I remember reading the article because after I found out about it, I started doing a lot of research. And because my parents had been witnesses for so long, we had a huge library of bound volumes and yearbooks and everything going back to the late 50s. So I had done a lot of the research myself by using the CD-ROM, Watchtower Library CD-ROM that we had at the time. And I looked up the information, and we had the bound volumes there. And I started reading it and looking into how they said, well, we never said that Armageddon was coming. We just said it was an interesting year because it marked mankind's 6,000 years on Earth. And I really liked the information that Mike and Kim brought out about the archaeologists finding human civilizations that dated a lot further back than 6,000 years. And I totally believe that. We're talking about perhaps 15, 20,000 years. And I believe that wholeheartedly. There's just too much evidence that can't be proved otherwise. However, I can remember asking my father about where they come up with this, uh, with these types of dates. And one of the things that he brought out was that at that time they believed that each creative day was 7 days, and of course using the fact that in terms of what the Bible brings out that one day is or that one year is 1,000 years to Jehovah, and so that each creative day was 7,000 years, and of course that makes very little sense because there's just too much evidence that life on Earth has been around for many millions and millions of years. However, to have this idea of 7,000 years for each creative day doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but this was what the idea was. So that at the end of that sixth day after humans were created, he entered into that seventh day where Jehovah rested from his creative works on earth. But what was so interesting when they came out with the idea that this is the um, this mark 1975 marks 6,000 years since mankind was created. But what they didn't take into consideration is the fact that how long had Adam been living before that end of that sixth day was established, and then the seventh day starting. Who knows? So how can they say, "Oh, this marks the end of 6,000 years"? Armageddon has to be around the corner because we have to factor in the 1,000-year reign of Christ. And then the idea was being that at that end of that seventh day, that would then mark 49 years or 49,000 years. And then we would mirror the Jewish system of things, which said that the 50th year was the Jubilee. So that at the end of that seventh year, or that seventh, yeah, that seventh creative day would then mark the 50,000th year, which then we would enter into that Jubilee. And that was, they had that for, that they believed that for quite a long time. I think they've sort of recanted some of those ideas, but the local assembly hall has a great big sign over the main auditorium where it has this whole thing, this whole mural on the wall that shows how those dates came about and when all this took place. So how they figured what these dates were and came up with that stuff, I don't know. I mean, we realize how they come out with 1914 and everything, but that other stuff was just a stretch of the imagination. And anybody who thinks that any life on this earth has only been around for less than 50,000 years has got to be crazy. But that's just my opinion. But I just kind of wanted to give Mike and Kim a shout out. Love the video. It was awesome, guys. Your research is great. I don't know how you find the time to do it, but I just kind of wanted to kind of let people know like some of the things that were being taught at the time. And of course, yeah, the Watchtower might not have come right out and said it, but they alluded to it. So basically that's the same thing. And and the fact that they allowed it to take place because the people that were really promoting it big time were the traveling overseers, district overseers, and circuit overseers. And they were coming into the congregation, they were propagating it and saying, oh, yeah, 1975, Armageddon's going to be here. You might want to. You might want to stop what you're doing, start pioneering. And of course, a lot of people did. And then some people stupidly decided to spend money they didn't have, and they wound up screwed after 75 came and went. They realized they couldn't pay for all this stupid stuff they bought. So it was ridiculous on the part of the individuals, yes, but the Watchtower itself takes a huge blame from this, and it's a fiasco that they still have yet to recover from. Why? It's because they deny it. They deny that they ever had anything to do with it, and the fact that they will not own up to their own mistakes is what screws them up. And this is why people leave. So, anyway, that was just my little rant. Thanks for listening. And Mike and Kim, I love you guys. Your videos are awesome. So, y'all take care and enjoy your day. And we'll see you again.